Ever watched a star salesperson clean out their desk on a random Tuesday? Or had a brilliant startup engineer drop the "I've accepted another offer" bomb during what you thought was a routine check-in? The sudden vacuum they leave behind doesn't just suck away revenue. It creates a silent ripple effect that can derail momentum, poison team morale, and leave customers wondering if they backed the wrong horse. In the high-octane worlds of startups and sales, talent isn't just an asset, it's oxygen. And when it walks out the door, the resulting asphyxiation can be fatal. Let's cut through the corporate platitudes and get real about why your best people vanish, and how visionary leaders can create gravity strong enough to keep their stars in orbit. The invisible career ceiling. When scrappy startup becomes career quicksand. Picture this. A hungry sales rep joins your team, intoxicated by your vision and the promise of building something extraordinary. Fast forward 18 months. The adrenaline high of startup chaos has faded, and they're staring into a career abyss. They've mastered their current role, but the path forward looks suspiciously non-existent. Top performers don't just want jobs, they crave trajectories. Sales professionals, with their innate goal orientation, feel this acutely. If they can't mentally project themselves into more impactful, prestigious, or lucrative roles within your organization, they're already halfway out the door, browsing LinkedIn with one eye while on your Monday stand-up with the other. Neural rewiring for leaders. Stop treating career development like a luxury you'll get to once things settle down. They never will. Create vivid, tangible career maps with specific milestones tied to company growth. Even in a 12-person startup, you can sketch what new roles might emerge as you scale and how current team members could evolve to fill them. HubSpot mastered this by designing parallel advancement tracks, leadership for those who wanted to build teams, and individual contributor paths that offered increasing specialization, autonomy, and compensation for those who preferred to perfect their craft rather than manage others. The result: lower attrition and a deeper talent bench. The leadership vacuum, when bosses manage metrics instead of humans. People don't quit companies, they quit managers. This tired maxim persists because it's devastatingly true. The startup world is littered with technical savants and product visionaries who couldn't lead humans if their Series B depended on it. In sales organizations, this manifests as leaders who treat people like interchangeable KPI generators, obsessing over numbers while neglecting the messy, essential work of developing the humans behind them. Micromanagement masquerading as high standards, radio silence interrupted only by criticism, and the emotional whiplash of constantly changing priorities. These leadership failures gradually corrode commitment and trust. The day your salesperson or developer accepts another offer often marks the end of a disillusionment process that began months earlier. Neural rewiring for leaders. Transform your one-on-ones from interrogations into coaching sessions. Curiosity before criticism. Ask what obstacles they're facing before questioning why they haven't overcome them. Protect your team from organizational whiplash by absorbing some of the chaos yourself rather than transmitting every tremor through the ranks. Gong.io institutionalized this approach by training every manager to lead with curiosity, asking reps about their experiments, learnings, and challenges before digging into numbers. This simple yet profound shift created psychological safety that translated into longer tenures and more innovative selling approaches. The compensation labyrinth. When pay becomes a puzzle instead of a motivator. Entrepreneurs often navigate compensation like novice sailors in a storm, overcorrecting wildly between extremes. Some offer extravagant packages disconnected from sustainable business outcomes, while others underpay dramatically, waving the equity flag like it's a guaranteed winning lottery ticket. Both approaches sabotage trust. For salespeople especially, compensation isn't just about survival. It's their scoreboard, their validation, their real-time feedback system. When comp plans feel arbitrary, needlessly complex, or disconnected from their daily efforts, the psychological contract fractures. They start questioning not just the money, but whether leadership truly understands what drives business results. Neural rewiring for leaders. Design compensation systems with the elegant simplicity of an Apple product. Make them intuitive enough that your team can calculate their earnings on a napkin. Review them quarterly, not just annually. Most importantly, share the thinking behind the model, how it connects to company economics and customer success. Pendo brilliantly course-corrected after noticing their quarterly bonus structure was creating perverse incentives. Reps were delaying deals to hit future targets or rushing suboptimal deals to hit current ones. They implemented rolling monthly bonuses tied to both revenue and product adoption metrics, creating alignment between rep behavior and long-term customer value. The burnout paradox, when hustle culture becomes self-sabotage. The startup mythology glorifies the all-nighter, the missed vacation, the founder sleeping under their desk. This narrative isn't just outdated, it's actively destroying value. High performers in sales and technical roles often internalize pressure until they shatter, maintaining a facade of invincibility until the day they simply don't show up. The cruel irony? The teams that most loudly celebrate hustle often produce less sustainable value than those that prioritize recovery and sustainable performance. Your always-on culture isn't a competitive advantage. It's a ticking talent time bomb. Neural rewiring for leaders. Treat recovery as seriously as productivity. Create rhythms that allow for intense sprints, followed by genuine recovery. Make it safe. No, make it expected for people to unplug completely after major milestones. Model this behavior yourself, because your team follows your actions, not your employee handbook. Drift institutionalized recharge weeks after major product launches, creating company-wide downtime that eliminated the social pressure to keep grinding when tanks were empty. The result wasn't just happier teams, it was more creative problem-solving and fewer costly errors when they returned. The invisibility syndrome. When contribution goes unseen. The human need for recognition runs deeper than most leaders realize. Salespeople and startup employees pour themselves into their work, often making personal sacrifices and navigating immense pressure. When their efforts disappear into a black hole of silence, motivation slowly evaporates. Commission checks satisfy the basic transactional agreement, but they don't address the deeper need to feel seen, appreciated, and valued for specific contributions. This isn't about participation trophies. It's about connecting individual effort to meaningful impact in ways that fuel continued commitment. Neural rewiring for leaders. Create recognition rituals that scale with your growth. In early stages, this might be as simple as personal notes from founders after significant wins. As you grow, develop more structured systems. Slack channels dedicated to wins, monthly spotlight videos, or peer nomination programs tied to company values. Gong elevated this approach by having executives create personalized video messages for reps who closed strategic deals, a high-touch gesture that created memorable moments beyond the transactional value of the commission. The next frontier. Reimagining talent. Retention for the human elements. Forward-thinking leaders are evolving beyond conventional retention tactics to address deeper human needs. Performance psychology as competitive advantage. Elite athletes have mental coaches. Why don't elite salespeople? Companies like Salesforce now offer specialized coaching and mental wellness support for high-pressure roles, recognizing that mental resilience directly impacts results. This isn't a feel-good perk, it's performance infrastructure. Strategic recovery instead of burnout management. Rather than waiting for burnout to strike, innovative companies like Asana and Calendly proactively build recovery cycles into their operations. Micro-sabbaticals of 3 to 5 days after intense periods allow top performers to recharge without losing momentum, and without the guilt that accompanies traditional time off. Career architecture that breathes. The static job ladder is becoming obsolete. Progressive organizations now hold role evolution conversations twice yearly, where employees can propose how their position might evolve based on their developing skills and changing company needs. This creates organic growth opportunities even when traditional promotion paths are limited. Spotlights that develop as they recognize, give your best people the stage. Let top salespeople co-host customer webinars, bring technical talent into product roadmap discussions, or represent the company at industry events. These high-visibility opportunities simultaneously recognize past contributions while developing new skills. Recognition that transcends transactions. As organizations grow, recognition needs to become more structured without losing authenticity. The most effective companies create multi-layered systems where peer recognition, leadership acknowledgement, and formal awards work in concert to celebrate not just outcomes but also behaviors that embody company values. The Retention Revolution, a leadership manifesto. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When your best people leave, it's rarely about money. It's about connection, or the lack of it. Connection to purpose, to growth, to impact, to the humans they work with. The organizations winning the talent wars aren't necessarily offering the fattest paychecks. They're creating environments where ambitious professionals can write the most compelling stories of their careers. If you're leading a sales team or startup, reframe retention as identity building. Your internal reputation, what it feels like to work with you, should be as carefully crafted as your external brand. Your team should believe, with evidence to support it, that staying with you offers a more compelling growth narrative than starting fresh elsewhere. Ask yourself these questions, and answer with brutal honesty. Could every member of your team, if stopped in the hallway, articulate how they might grow within your organization over the next 2 years? Do your managers function primarily as coaches developing talent, or as scorekeepers tracking metrics? Does your compensation structure drive behaviors that serve your customers and business long-term? And do your people fundamentally trust the system? Are you protecting your top performers from burnout? Or are you quietly expecting them to sacrifice their well-being for your business outcomes? When was the last time you celebrated someone's growth, effort, or resilience? Not just their closed deals or shipped features. The leaders who thoughtfully address these questions won't just retain their best people. They'll become talent magnets, creating gravitational pull in an industry where the best talent has infinite options. And in today's landscape, that's not just good people management, it's the ultimate competitive advantage.